The Hawks have arrested 67 foreign nationals in Johannesburg in a sting operation by the Home Affairs Counter-Corruption and Security Unit together with the Hawks. Minister of Home Affairs Dr. Motsoaledi says some of the foreigners book into hotels that don't even exist to secure a place in South Africa. Now let's discuss this further. We are joined now by Home Affairs Minister Dr. Motsoaledi. Minister, thank you so much for your time at such short notice. Minister, what alerted authorities which led to this particular interception?
Well, thank you very much, Unati, and thank you to the listeners and the viewers. Look, we observed certain tendencies, especially from Pakistani nationals, tendencies that were disconcerting and that were very suspicious. You may remember that we've been watching nationals from Pakistan since the 15th of June last year, if you remember, when they tried to enter the country illegally, where they get visas, which are transit visas to go to other countries around our neighbors, But somewhere in the airport, they escape and they try to find a route into South Africa by going in through the fire hydrant, passages made for fire hydrants. So we've been watching them and we realized something that was untoward. We conducted the sting operation yesterday, a sting operation done by Home Affairs, done by the Border Management Authority, State Security, and the Hawks in a joint operation, and these 67 were nabbed.
It is concerning that this is such a large group. I don't know that you said that they had obviously come in under false pretenses, but at this stage, do we know where they were going and what they were, intending to do in this country?
Well, that's a question, because they didn't know where they were going, to be honest with you. I personally sat in rooms when they were interviewing them to find out exactly what's going on. Many of them were giving very vague answers to exactly where they are going, who are they visiting. And we discovered, as I said, that a number of them will book in a hotel and the hotel doesn't even know about it. Some will give us names of hotels in which they are going, and the hotel does not exist. One was visiting a relative who is in Durban, and he said because he's still going to find the relative, has booked in the hotel in the meantime. And when we checked the address of the hotel, it was in Kadok, not in Durban, not anywhere near Itequini. So others will give you the name of a person and say, look, I am visiting, this person is my cousin. And then they give us the phone number. When we phone that person, we give them a different name altogether. And he said, yes, that's my cousin. And when we keep on giving different names, we discover that as long as you give a name of a Pakistani national, it becomes a cousin. And he says he's visiting me, must come in. And that's when we realize there's something very fishy here. And we turn them back. There's no way that will have allowed people who don't even know what they are coming here to do to get into the country.
So they were arrested at our Tambo International Airport and then deported back to their countries at their own cost. What about anyone who had tried to help them? How far are the investigations there? Because one wonders where they obtained those visas and also who helped them, possibly from South Africa.
Well, they are abusing UNATI, unfortunately. The recently established Evisa system, which was meant to facilitate the entry of tourists into South Africa in order to rekindle the economy. And we found them making use of them, but in a way that is very abusive and that is not correct. And so we are going to see, we are calling a meeting this week to review the whole concept of e-visas. Where could a gap be?
And I was going to talk to you about that, about the department, trying to improve security features in as far as the e-visa system is concerned, because as you also rightfully say, it does seem like it is being abused by some nationals. Do you at this point know where the gap is at the moment?
No, that's why I'm saying we're going to have a meeting. We want to see what gap are they using. Because maybe, Unati, to understand, let me tell you about Evisa. In the past, when you are in another country, you want to come to South Africa, you had to go to the embassy of South Africa in that country by person, and you get interviewed, and you get asked questions, etc. And that takes a long time. Some have complained that the embassies are very far for that matter. So we introduced e-visa where you don't have to go in person, but you use an online system. And on being accepted, you are just sent an email. You just pick up that email and you rush to the nearest airport. Remember, before e-visa, we've got to attach a physical document in your passport. But this time around, you take an email and rush to the airport. As I'm saying, it is done for honest people to facilitate entry. But we have realized that it looks like some of these rascals are starting to make use of it in order to access our country.
Let's start with the visa, Minister. Your department reported a backlog of over 60,000 visa applications last year for people wanting to come into this country, some of whom are skilled individuals. Can you give us an update in as far as this is concerned and where we are at the moment?
Unati, I thought I answered that question many times. There is no skilled individuals who have got a backlog on visas. The backlog which we had on visas is on what we call relative visas, dependents, people who are saying, I want to come to South Africa because Unati is from my country and is there. He has been given a visa or a permanent residence and I want to go and visit him. That's where the backlog is. As far as skilled people are concerned, we mentioned many times that we don't have a backlog because, for instance, we established even what we call a corporate unit visa, a corporate unit in the department whereby all the people who want to come to South Africa to invest, especially after the Presidential Investment Summit, are dealt with by that corporate unit, so that we don't have any backlogs of people who have got skills. So I emphasize the backlogs were people who were dependent, who wanted to visit people who are already inside the country. It might be a dependent of a person with skill, yes, but that still remains a dependent.